Good morning. So today I will be talking about where I am in life at the moment and just give you some updates. So currently I have been thinking about setting new goals for myself to incorporate in my daily lifestyle. A big one has to do with food. So I would like to start eating cleaner, which is a little bit difficult for me because I love to snack, but what I've learned is that I just really need to discipline myself or nothing's going to ever get done. So I've come to terms with that essentially. And what I've started doing is meal prepping. So I'll meal prep for roughly like 3 days at a time, just because I don't like food to stay in the fridge for too long. And I also enjoy cooking so much that like I will spend the time to cook each individual meal. But not only is that really wasteful, but I create so many dishes every time I cook. So that is a big area that I'm trying to fix right now, especially considering I could be spending that time applying for more jobs, learning a new skill. Like, don't get me wrong, I love to cook and I'm not the best at it. And it is something I would love to do in the future. It's not a job that I'm hoping for, if that makes sense. So once I finish all my junk food that I still have, I will be only making healthier options for myself and my roommate, just because they are training for BJJ and he should be eating more. He should just be eating more in general. So that is like my food area that I'm working on. Another aspect is my health. So I really want to exercise more. And I know that it's not like something I could just do immediately, essentially. Don't get me wrong. I love being active. I love going outside. I love the idea of lifting weights, but I need it to be more integrated into my lifestyle, even though that sounds a little bit weird. So what I started doing is I bought ankle weights and I wear them around my wrists for when I walk my dog. My dog is kind of heavy. He's like almost 50 pounds and he's always tugging on the leash. So that's already a lot of resistance that I have to hold back. So I just wanted to add like a little bit more weight just because I want my arms to look a little bit toner. It is like one of my most self-conscious parts of my body, unfortunately. They are only 1 pound weights. And the reason I chose that is because I didn't want to invest in like a really nice set, number one. And number two, I wanted to be able to see that I can commit to wearing these weights constantly and using them. I do have a tendency to buy a lot of stuff because I think I'm going to use it or I'm going to like be productive if I buy it and then I don't. So I have accumulated a lot of stuff. And since I will be ending my part time position next week, I have to be very careful with my purchases. I essentially told myself that I'm not allowed to buy like clothes or accessories until I get a new job, preferably a full time job, because if I'm working part time, I shouldn't need like a new set of clothes or anything. Like, I should be able to sustain myself until I'm able to get a new position. So that is like one of my goals and restrictions I currently have on myself. And I'm not gonna lie, it has not been easy because I love to buy accessories, I go shopping, so I've been doing a lot of window shopping, and my fixation at the moment is kind of like cooking stuff. Since I do like to make my meals a little bit more fun, I like to shape rice into like little characters or cut out faces. It just helps me make the food more enjoyable, and it makes me feel like I'm not wasting all my time on nothing, even though it kind of is. But we're not going to talk about that. So as for my job search right now, I need a new part-time position because it doesn't look like I will be getting a full-time position anytime soon, and I would like to get into like inventory control or inventory management in the future. So I'm looking for preferably a stock associate position. And right now I'm in Jersey, so I've been looking in this area just because I don't want to pay like the double income tax if I do end up working in New York, especially if the job isn't worth it. Like, a lot of the positions for part time is like $15, $14, and I'm not gonna lie, that's a little bit ridiculous. Um, and if the experience was worth it, I would definitely consider it. But like, for an average job, I don't have the means to consider it because that's not enough money to live. And the position near me that's paying most for an inventory associate position is Walmart at $18. So I'm definitely going to see if I can get that position just because I don't want any other position that pays less that isn't really worth my time. Like, there are a couple of like retailers that are looking for inventory associates, but personally they're either like too far, even the ones in New Jersey, or just not worth the ride. Like, $14 and then like a commute that's horrible is not worth it to me. And I know that sounds very picky, but I'm being so truthful. Everyone needs to make money, and a livable wage should be the bare minimum at the moment. So I am still going to my weekly Boston meetings, and I just had one yesterday where I spoke with my CSM. Um, and I actually just got a Slack message from my CSM. So the person I'm meeting with today, that I will be doing like a coffee chat with, is someone who's been in the fashion industry and is currently like a content creator, not content creator per se, but like a content creator for like a company, not like a freelance or anything. So I started like accumulating a list of questions to ask her. And I want this to kind of be like a coffee chat as well, but I feel like I'm such an awkward person that it's been really difficult for me to network and reach out to people. Like I've been reaching out to people on LinkedIn and getting their advice and stuff, but I haven't been really building like a connection. Like I'm reaching out to people asking for advice, but everyone's telling me to approach this networking situation as if they're like a friend. But like when you're reaching out on LinkedIn, I feel like there's a given that there's an motive, alternative mode. Yes, I think that's how you say it. So it's a little bit awkward. And if I want to approach it like if it was like a friend type of situation, I would probably look up like other social media, probably like their Instagram or something. So if you guys have any advice on like how to approach reaching out on LinkedIn and make it seem friendly, please let me know because I'm so lost. I'm so lost. So the 2 or 3 questions I've come up with so far to ask the person I'm talking with today is how did you just I'm sorry about that. How did you decide what industry you would like to join? I feel like that's a pretty basic one that I would love to know from anybody, just because there's a lot of motivation when it comes to finding a job. And I would love to know if it's money based or if it's like something you've always wanted to do, essentially. And then my second one is when deciding to get into fashion, what was it? Was it what you were expecting or was it better? Just because I do know a lot of people who do get into the fashion industry, it is not easy. It's generally a lot worse than what people are expecting. Like it is harsh out there and it is not easy to do what they do. So I just want to know if she enjoyed it or not, because this is an industry I've always dreamed of getting into. And like the stories that I hear sometimes are horrible. And like a lot of the salaries that I see being listed is like nothing, fuck yes. And that's a lot of work to make no money. There's people doing far less, making far more. And I don't think that's fair. I really don't. And then the big question I want to know is when making connections, how do you approach people without making it awkward? Like I said, I'm not the best with talking with others, and I just need to know if there's like some type of secret because I've been told we're all in the same boat and everyone is just as nervous. But to some degree, there are people who are more nervous, and that's okay. I'm one of those people. So I just need to know like how do you approach it? What should I do? Like how should I talk to people? Because through text, it's very impersonal to me. But I have done like Zoom meetings with people when talking to them, and it's just been really awkward. Like, how do you fix the awkwardness or like the silence? And I'm generally really nervous when talking to new people, so I'll like have my list out, and then like once they answer it, I'm not really sure how to like keep that conversation going for that question specifically. So I'll just move on to the next question, and it's very formal in a sense, and I would like it to be a little bit more informal because everyone knows that half the jobs you that are there, I guess, are through referrals or through word of mouth. And through my fellowship, pretty much told us that 70% of jobs go unlisted because they are filled internally, essentially. So I would love to reach out to more people. If you guys are in the fashion industry, I would love to have a chat with you guys and see how we connect. I'm sorry if that sounded really awkward, but I'm very open to doing a lot of work and I do have experience. If you guys would like me to drop my resume to you, I would do that too. Um, but that's all I have for right now. Thank you.